Hey, what's going on YouTube? We're back with another Borderlands video, and today we've got the history of Sanctuary, and this safe haven of the Resistance is best known for being the home of the Crimson Raiders, for being built on top of an old and abandoned mining ship named Sanctuary, and for being overrun by the Bloodshots at one point in the city's history. Now, according to the official Borderlands Twitter account, the city of Sanctuary was built on top of an abandoned mining ship burrowed into the ground. Over centuries, the elements covered the ship and salvaged vehicles and parts became part of the structure, creating the friendliest city on Pandora. Friendly is a relative term. After all, the planet of Pandora is a very harsh place, and even though Sanctuary is home to the Resistance, it's far from a safe and friendly town. Throughout this series, we have learned about the history of Dahl and their mining operations. The company, as we know, eventually abandoned Pandora altogether, leaving behind many soldiers, prisoners, and of course, a lot of their mining equipment. Sanctuary, Dahl's prime mining ship, was located at the Caustic Caverns where it was mining for rare minerals. After the abandonment of the ship, it eventually became a city that would be home to Roland and his resistance. Now, back in Borderlands 1, we learned that Sanctuary is too dangerous to access due to the fact that Baron Flint and his group of bandits in the Salt Flats would absolutely kill the innocent people trying to make it there. Helena Pierce was the one who blocked the access to Sanctuary to keep the people safe, and after Baron Flint was killed by the Vault Hunters in Borderlands 1, Sanctuary was still inaccessible due to the Atlas Corporation. Commandant Steele and the Crimson Lance went into the city and killed off the bandits that were living within the city. They only occupied the city for a short period of time due to the ending of Borderlands 1, where Commandant Steele was killed off by the Destroyer, and the Crimson Lance was left in disarray. This might be the part of the story where you think Sanctuary is now ready for Roland and his friends, but it's not. The Bloodshots were the next group to occupy the city. Now, Roland was able to force out the Bloodshot gang and their leader Flanksteak in order to set up a base of operations in Sanctuary for the newly founded Crimson Raiders. This is why Roland is being harassed by the gang, because they have a history, so to speak. This is now the Sanctuary we know of today, which is made up of the Crimson Raiders, civilians that responded to the distress signals, and of course the Vault Hunters. Some of the other notable inhabitants of Sanctuary are Dr. Zed, who Roland saved from Hyperion during their invasion of Firestone, Dr. Tanis, who was tortured by Handsome Jack, and Marcus Kincaid, who Roland didn't always see eye to eye with due to the fact that his business practices involved him selling weapons to bandit groups that Roland was fighting from Sanctuary. Now, the Dahl ship Sanctuary was trying to be rehabbed in order to make the city fly by Roland and Scooter, but due to the fact that the ship had laid dormant for hundreds of years, they could never realize this goal. This is where Lilith comes in to use her siren powers to actually make the city fly. Now, once Lilith is able to teleport the city, Sanctuary stays in the air, and this can be seen from all over the playable area in Borderlands 2. It's never said outright, but it has to be assumed that Scooter was finally able to get the dormant ship functioning because Lilith doesn't have the power to sustain the flight of a city over long periods of time. So perhaps once they got Sanctuary in the air and off of the ground, they were able to get the engines fired up. Now, once the city flies away, the remaining area is hailed as Sanctuary Hull, and it also uncovers the Caustic Caverns where Dahl left behind a ton of mining vehicles and equipment. Alright guys, so that was the history of Sanctuary. If you guys liked the video, consider leaving a like. If you've got anything to add, go ahead and drop a comment down below. And if you guys are into Borderlands, consider subscribing. Later.